Guys, we're back with Should You Watch, and it's been a little bit, but we're doing the next one that won the marble race, which is Blue Lock. This will be covering seasons 1 and 2 for now. That is all that is out at the time of this recording. So anything that comes out in the future, this will no longer be relevant. Got everyone here. We're going to talk about all the usual stuff, and let's get into it for Blue Lock season 1 and 2. Starting off with characters and relevant information. Blue Lock actually has quite a
Pretty good.
large cast. Quite a large cast.
So a few minor guys, and there's like your solid group of like actually important players.
Yeah, there's actually
They're all pretty well fleshed out too. Like they don't only let like two characters shine for the whole like show.
yeah, and
Everybody gets their
honestly,
own little moments.
for once, they don't fall into the shonen. I guess it's technically still shonen, even though it's a sports anime. They don't fall into the usual trope of the main character having to be the Mister Save the Day, broken, busted guy all the time, which I think is great. He almost never feels like the best character in every situation, which makes it feel more relatable, I guess. More like easy to follow the main character, and it's also just not. It's more realistic. The main character wouldn't always just be the greatest at everything. So I think the character cast is actually pretty good. They make the villains. Obviously, it's a sports show. There's not really like true, I guess, villains, evil people. There kind of is, but they make the villains interesting, but feel like you're supposed to root against them, which is good. You never feel like you're rooting against the main team, I guess.
There's
Um,
like it's kind of just
Well,
mean
Mike was rooting
people.
against right. Mike
yeah,
was rooting against the main team, in the third selection actually because he's a big green glazer.
yeah, maybe,
It's
maybe I was. I don't know. I don't remember if that was already happening at by that point, but I won't go into too many details of what changes after that because again, we try to keep these as spoiler free. Which is this is actually one of the few shows you could really talk about without getting spoilers. Like we've had quite a few of them so far. It's hard to explain what's good about them without spoiling. But overall, characters, it's a very solid grade. I would say a very above average score on characters. On to story and pacing. Also good. Unique concept, sports with an elimination factor. Um, and pacing wise for me, I think it's pretty good. It keeps things moving.
They don't rush anything.
Yeah, they don't rush anything, but it never drags either. It moves well enough. It accelerates when it needs to. And um, I don't really even people who seem to hate on the show don't really seem to talk bad about the story itself. So that's good. I don't really have much else to say though on that.
think most people dog on the show, dog on what what's coming up
Can't say
next.
that.
You're coming up later.
Yeah, that's coming up next, and we'll give you our take on it. Um, which if you've watched any of our should you watch it so far, you know we're all pretty like reasonable about expectations of stuff.
There's
So
someone in here that's not.
take it with a take that with a I don't say with a grain of salt. Whatever the opposite of take it with a grain of salt is, take it as fact.
Take it with
But
boatloads of semen.
story and pacing
Mm.
is good. Animation and visuals. This is the hot topic of the show, which everybody likes to talk about.
The
Um,
visuals are pretty good.
I honestly think
Animation.
I will say the visual design of the characters and everything is great. Actually, the actual animating. So if you break it down by season one, you already do see a lot of random CGI for like overhead shots and stuff, but it's still like the actual rest of it is pretty much animated well enough. Um,
Mm-mm.
but then when you get into the next season, there is merit to people complaining about some of the stuff being very toned down. And when they talk about the show having budget constraints and also time constraints, it is very evident. Um, they do randomly just turn the gas on, especially like in the last episode of season two, which is awesome, but also a little frustrating because you find yourself wondering what would the show be like if it could just do this all the time. Um, which you know how the anime industry is. Animators get beaten into a corner, suits overreach, etc., and we all suffer for it. But the animation complaints are definitely valid, but also a little dramatic. To the point where people are saying, the whole show is ruined. It's not watchable anymore. That's a little extreme. It didn't really take me out of the second season that much. I was still excited to watch episodes. You still get the entire point of the story across. It just leaves you wishing it was a little better. So what do you guys have to say on that, Mark?
I mean, I don't know.
Abysmal.
I practically agree
Read
with
the
everything you said.
manga. If I wanted to read the manga, I would have just bought it.
Okay. Well, that's also something too. They're like, I did have one
Slideshow
question.
cock.
People were like, "Oh, it's like a slideshow. I'd rather, like the manga. In the manga, this moves way differently." I'm like, it's just still frames in the manga. So you're getting your perfect translation. It's exactly it's exactly like the fucking translation for the manga. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it doesn't really bother me that much. It didn't take much away from the show for me. Would I have liked it if it was more like Haikyuu or it was like perfectly done most of the time? Yeah, for sure. But still, like if you like the idea of it, I wouldn't say let this ruin it for you. Just prepare yourself that it's not super consistent, but it's definitely not the worst thing ever. Um, it's just below average consistency on the animation side. Visual, like actual character design stuff's good though. All right, into our overall closing thoughts. Should you watch it and our
Best sports
score?
show.
Um, is it
Best
the
sports
best
show.
sports show? Well, we've only seen a couple. We've only seen two.
I'd say it's definitely one of them. One
It's
of the
definitely
best
one
ones.
of them. I don't know if I like it better than Haikyuu. It's pretty close. They're both around the same. I think we ranked them pretty damn close together.
It's got good music too, and no one ever talks about that.
The soundtrack is, maybe we should add a soundtrack tab for the next episode. That could be something to consider. 'Cause the music is pretty
And
good,
then AOT will just get like the perfect score on that.
but I would say overall, yeah, I would say it's a watch. Would you guys give it a must watch?
Yep. If you like sports, then you gotta watch it.
Yeah, if you like sports shows, then yeah, I'd
Well,
say it's a must watch.
so we ended up
Best
giving
part about the
this.
show is that no one has plot armor other than like maybe Ishigi, but
Yeah, it's like a plot armor in a way to be expected. Like you kind of can't have no plot armor for the main character,
I mean,
otherwise.
like he doesn't win literally all the time. It's not like outrageous, but
Well, even the final match, it
they
doesn't
they
feel.
explain it pretty well.
There's a lot of moments, and I won't say anything about the outcome or anything, but there are a lot of moments in that final match where it's like you don't really know who's going to win at all. It never feels like the main characters just have this like fucking big buff over everybody. In fact, if anything, it's the opposite. But the overall, so we gave it a 9, and it'll get the must-watch approval for anybody who likes this kind of show. If you like sports anime, then you'll
Demi
definitely
gets a little sugar at it.
definitely want to add it. Yeah, you definitely want to add this to your list if you like sports anime. Just like I said, maybe lower the expectations on the animation a little bit if you've watched other stuff. We will watch more sports. We have Slam Dunk and uh the other basketball one are on our list. Just haven't they haven't won our wheel decider that we use to pick the shows we do. So we will watch those at some point. But until then, Blue Lock is one of the better sports anime we've watched, and we will now roll the marbles to see who is going to be next on our list. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you in the next one.